Hi folks, welcome back and welcome to this lesson. In this lecture, we're going to take a look at the IFERROR function. Having used Excel for a number of years, seeing errors is a common occurrence. And I bet you will at some point in your work life. Handling it, however, can be quite tricky. Well, the good thing is, Microsoft Excel has a solution for it. And it's the IFERROR function. Let's check it out, shall we? Okay, so let's take a look at the illustration for this lecture. For the purpose of this illustration, we're going to go straight to Excel. Okay, so let's get it started. Let's suppose that you work at a car dealership. Your manager has asked you to present your January sales result in Table 1. That shows your manager the quantity and dollar from the cars that were manufactured in 2016 and sold by you. I want you to keep this in mind. Your manager only wants the cars that were manufactured in 2016. In order to get the dollar info, you need to retrieve this from Table 2, the list of the cars that were manufactured in 2016. You need to retrieve it using the VLOOKUP function. Unfortunately, some of the cars that you sold in January were manufactured in earlier years, which means that we would see some errors here in Table 1. Let's prove it. I'm going to type my VLOOKUP function here in the column price. Okay, yup, I was right. We indeed see some errors here. Now, the trouble is, the total sum mentioned at the bottom of the table, Table 1, would also give us an error. This list is fairly large, and manually deleting the ones that return an error would be very impractical. It would simply be easier to instead introduce a formula that converts the error into 0 instead and copy it down to the bottom of this table. Well, the good thing is that's exactly what the IFERROR is designed to do. Let's take a look at how it solves this particular problem. I'm going to modify the multiplication formula in cell E3 and add the IFERROR function to this. So here it is in cell E3. Let me finish typing it in. Don't focus too much on the syntax of this function at this stage because we will explore this in greater details shortly. So what we ideally want here, if this returns an error, it means that the car was not produced in 2016 and therefore we want to set this to 0. So here it is, 0. Okay, once that's done, let's drag it down by clicking the bottom right corner of this cell. Excellent. That was a quick and a very practical fix, huh? Okay, so now that you've seen it in action, let's examine the function and get ourselves familiar with it. So, the IFERROR function has two user inputs or arguments. The first is the value. This can be an actual hard-coded value, or a cell reference to the value, or a formula. In our example, it was the multiplication formula that multiplies cell C3, the quantity, with cell D3, the price. The second argument is the value IFERROR. This is the resulting value or action that we wish Excel to do if an error is found in the first argument. In our example, what we want Excel to do if the calculation returns an error is to set this as 0 so that the sum at the bottom of this table would still work. Okay, now that you've seen it in action and we've also examined it, let's now take a look at the exercise for this lecture. In this lecture's exercise, you'll use the same data set as our illustration earlier. However, your task is to introduce the IFERROR function to this VLOOKUP price formulas in column D. Not the total column, alright? Once you've completed the exercise, have a go at the quiz, answer all the questions, and good luck. See you in the next lesson. Ciao for now.